Right now, as your eyes land on these words, your signal is aligning. That's not poetry, that's pattern. The 97% use cannabis the way culture taught them. Background noise, brighter colors, a temporary edit to the same old loop. The remaining few treat the plant the way the ancients did, as a teacher. Thoth would call this the law of correspondence in motion, as within, so without. If you enter scattered, you amplify chaos. If you enter clear, you amplify truth. The difference isn't strain, gadget, or dosage. The difference is direction. Ask yourself, why here? Why now? Maybe you've suspected there's more to this than the weekend routine. Maybe you've noticed those rare nights when the room turns quiet and a single sentence drops into you like a bell. Do this instead. That wasn't an accident. That was you slipping beneath the surface narrative into the field where guidance lives. In Hermetic work, you don't get high to escape. You lower the noise so the signal you've been drowning out can finally speak. Here's the first reversal. The ritual doesn't begin when you inhale. It begins when you decide. The moment you choose a single intention, the session is already underway. Tonight's intention isn't a shopping list. No begging, bargaining, or 20 bullet points. One sentence felt in the chest, not barked from the mind. Show me what I'm ready to release, or clarify my next honest step. That's it. You're tuning a dial, not submitting a ticket. The teacher doesn't respond to panic. It responds to coherence. But coherence is allergic to clutter, and that's where 97% get it wrong. They pair the plant with a wall of novelty, playlists with lyrics, group chats popping, feeds refreshing every few seconds. That flood keeps the default mode network humming, your autobiographical voice narrating every flicker, and the lesson gets hijacked by spectacle. In sacred work, we subtract interference, fewer inputs, truer outputs, warm, dim light. If you use scent, choose one and use it every time so the body recognizes the temple. Devices out of reach, a chair, cushion, or spot on the floor that exists for this purpose alone. Water nearby, journal open, pen uncapped. These aren't aesthetics, they're agreements with your nervous system. Thoth's lens is simple. The plant amplifies what you already are. If you're tense, it can magnify tension. If you're clear, it can magnify clarity. That's why pre-ritual breath matters more than the plant itself. 3 slow rounds in through the nose, out through the nose, longer exhale than inhale, shoulders softening on their own. You're telling the body, it's safe to learn. From there, speak the intention once, not 10 times. Not until it turns into worry dressed as prayer. Once, then listen. The work is receiving, not chasing. You may feel nothing at first. Good. That's the void, the neutral plateau before a breakthrough, the quiet many mislabel as failure. Sit in it, let time unhook. When sensation, image, or phrase rises, don't pounce. Note it lightly, like catching a snowflake on your sleeve. If it's real, it repeats. If it fades, let it. You are training attention to be a steward, not a supervisor. There's a reason we start here with remembering. Tools without sovereignty become habits. Sovereignty turns tools into teachers. Whether you legally work with cannabis or choose breath and stillness alone, the law is the same. Your state precedes your sight. Your agreement becomes your experience, and your experience, repeated with care, becomes your life. If you're ready to reclaim this as a sacred practice, subscribe and tap the bell now, because in this episode we're going to map the entire activation, why 97% collapse the state, the 3 hidden switches that quiet the DMN and sharpen gamma-like focus, and a 9-minute step-by-step ritual you can try tonight. Before we go on, drop this in the comments and be honest. Are you using the plant to escape or to awaken? What's your proof? Recreation fragments attention, ritual refines it. The 97% confuse stimulation with instruction. They think the plant delivers an experience, so they add more music, more friends, more screens, more flavors. But Thoth's lens says the plant is a multiplier. It multiplies the state you bring. If you arrive scattered, you amplify scatter. If you arrive coherent, you amplify coherence. Direction beats dosage every single time. Let's name the trap. You light up with a playlist full of lyrics telling you what to feel. Notifications keep popping. You're flipping between scenes, snacks, and scrolling. That flood feeds the default mode network, the inner narrator that glues your story together. DMN on high =, you narrate your way around the lesson. You come out with cooler visuals, zero guidance. You didn't fail, you just built a maze and then asked for a straight line through it. Ritual does the opposite. It subtracts interference. Think of it as noise hygiene, warm, dim light, one tone, a single scent used every time, or none at all, a seat you reserve only for this work so the body recognizes the doorway. Devices out of reach, one glass of water, that's it, simple on purpose. You're not creating a vibe for Instagram. You're making an agreement with your nervous system. Here, we listen. Another trap. Thinking dosage solves direction. If you're unclear and you double the amount, you just doubled the unclear. In Hermetic language, you're stacking multiplicity, more of everything, when what you want is pattern. Pattern emerges when you reduce inputs until the signal can repeat. In physics terms, constant poking and measuring causes decoherence. The fragile pattern collapses. In inner work, constant checking, is this it yet? Does the same. So you practice non-interference. Notice without naming. Allow without auditing. There's also the party overlay. You bring social rules into a temple. Laughter becomes armor. Conversation becomes avoidance. You say, "We're just vibing." But you came because a quiet voice asked for clarity about your work, your love, your health. Ritual means you honor that voice. You can gather with friends, yes, but agree on silence windows. Agree to write before talking. Agree to protect the first insight that lands. No debate, no spin. Reverence isn't stiffness, it's focus with care. Let's get practical. 30 minutes before the session, where legal, do a stimulation fast. No reels, no news, no inbox. Drink water, eat light or not at all. Walk for 5 minutes and breathe through the nose. Let your gaze rest on far objects so the body remembers space. When you return, set the room once and stop adjusting. The nervous system trusts consistency. That trust becomes calm. Calm becomes clarity. Clarity becomes instruction. Your intention is a single line, felt not forced. Reveal the next honest step. Show me what keeps my heart small. Avoid shopping lists and ultimatums. Those are fear in costume. Speak it once. The mind will want to repeat it like a spell. Don't. Repetition reactivates the DMN and drags you back into narration. Sacred work is one ask, much listening. Expect the void, that neutral plateau where nothing seems to happen. Most people panic there and start chasing stimulation. New song, new clip, new text, bigger hit. That flinch kills the pattern just as it begins to form. The 3% stay, breathe, feel temperature, weight, breath, heartbeat. 4 anchors that keep awareness in the body. When an image, word, or sensation arrives, hold it lightly. If it's true, it returns. If it fades, it taught you something too. To let go without inventing meaning. One more misstep. Turning visions into entertainment instead of evidence. Insight that doesn't change your next 24 hours was just fireworks. Ritual turns fireworks into fire. Heat that cooks your life. So you'll capture what lands in 5 words, then 1 paragraph. Not poetry, proof. Called my father. Cleaned my desk. Ended the loop. The plant amplified a choice that was already yours to make. You're starting to see the pivot. Less chasing, more receiving. Less input, more pattern. Less dose, more direction. In the next part, we'll pass fully through Thoth's gate, the law of correspondence, and translate as within, so without into a map you can actually walk. As within, so without. Thoth didn't offer that as a slogan, he offered it as a mechanism. The plant, where legal, doesn't invent realities, it mirrors them, like polishing a lens until pattern emerges. When you understand correspondence, you stop chasing effects and start arranging causes. You stop asking, how do I get a vision? And start asking, what inside me produces the kind of signal a true vision can ride? Think of your inner space as a room with 4 dials: breath, attention, emotion, story. Breath sets the rhythm of the room. Attention chooses spotlight versus panorama. Emotion charges the air with coherence or static. Story is the subtle caption your mind prints across everything you see. Cannabis, breathwork, stillness, whatever doorway you choose, multiplies the setting of those dials. Enter with jittery breath, narrow attention, anxious charge, and a self-critic caption. And the mirror multiplies that. Enter with slow breath, soft panoramic attention, warm neutrality, and a caption like, I'm willing to see, and the mirror multiplies that. Let's make it practical. Use this simple temple equation, not physics, just guidance. State equals sign, breath X, attention X, emotion X, story. Noise. You can raise the numerator or lower the denominator. Most people keep adding to the numerator, more hacks, more inputs, and accidentally raise noise at the same time. Ritual flips it. Reduce noise first, then nudge the dials. Breath. Try the 3-6-9 ramp. 3 slow nasal breaths to arrive. 6 to lengthen the exhale. In 4, out 6, 8. 9 with a micro pause after exhale to let the body recognize safety. Notice the shoulders drop on their own. That's your vagal brake engaging. Safety is what allows novelty to organize into pattern. Attention. Start narrow for intention. Read your one sentence once. Then widen. Soft eyes. Include the edges of the room. Hear the farthest sound. Panoramic attention quiets the default mode network because the me narrator can't dominate a field that includes more than itself. You're not losing self, you're right-sizing it. Emotion. You're not faking happy. You're aiming for neutral warm, composed, curious, unforced. If sadness or anger is present, don't exile it. Place a palm on your chest and acknowledge it. Correspondence isn't good vibes only, it's honest signal. The mirror prefers truthful rooms to pretty ones. Story. Shift your caption from demand to availability. Replace give me X with show me what I'm ready to see about X. Demands tighten attention and spike noise. Availability loosens the grip so the pattern can repeat. The only proof anything is real. Now, run the mirror test. After setting breath, attention, emotion, story, ask, did the room widen by a few centimeters? It's subtle. Time feels slower, edges get rounder, self-talk drops half a notch. If yes, you've crossed the first gate. If not, don't force it. Reduce inputs again. Lights down 1 step, scent off, music to texture only, and repeat 3 breaths. You're training conditions, not chasing fireworks. Correspondence also explains why your insights are personalized. If your question is about honesty at work, don't expect random cosmic trivia. Expect a scene, word, or sensation that lands exactly where your life is dishonest. The mirror doesn't flatter, it orients. When an image arrives, a locked drawer, a crooked frame, a hallway you keep skipping, ask inwardly, where is this already happening in my day? That single bridge, image, daily echo turns mysticism into instruction. Record it in a correspondence ledger. 2 columns, inner state, pre, and outer message, during, after. Pre, breath slow, attention soft, emotion neutral, story equal sign willing. Message, saw a crooked frame, realized I keep tilting conversations to avoid conflict, texted my manager and scheduled a direct talk. 7 sessions like this, and you won't need to convince yourself the work is real. Your life will. A word on symbols, numbers, animals, geometry. Don't force meanings you found on a list. Wait for repetition in context. If 333 appears on nights you practice and the theme is alignment, let your ledger define 333 as stay with the process. If dogs show up each time you avoid a threshold, maybe that's your inner Anubis asking you to cross. The rule here is the rule everywhere. If it's real, it repeats. If it's yours, it corresponds. You're feeling the shift, aren't you? Less superstition, more stewardship. In the next part, we'll make this map physical, preparing the temple, no dogma. So your room, breath, and tools form a reliable gateway instead of a once-in-a-while accident. We've mapped the inner law. Now we make it physical, not aesthetic for a thumbnail, architecture for consciousness. Thoth's principle is simple. Build a repeatable gate, and the gate learns to open. Here's how to design a room and a routine that subtracts noise, steadies the body, and turns the plant, where legal, into a teacher, not a toy. Layer 1. Space, the outer temple. Light first, warm and dim. Think candle or a single lamp around 2,700 K. One source, not 5. Place it behind or to the side so your eyes aren't performing. Shadows help the nervous system relax. Flicker agitates it. Sound next. Keep it lyric-free. A low drone, soft bowls, or slow frame drum under 60 BPM. Pick one playlist you'll reuse. Never hunt for songs mid-ritual. Scent is optional. If you use it, choose one anchor, cedar, frankincense, or none. Mixing scents is mixing signals. Temperature, slightly cool so breath remains steady. Surfaces, clear the immediate 3 feet around you. Clutter amplifies itself. Door, shut it. Threshold is a promise to yourself. Seat matters. Don't use your bed, that's for sleep. Choose a chair or floor cushion that exists only for this work. Over time, the body recognizes it as a gate. Put water within reach. Open your journal, uncap your pen, phone in another room or in airplane mode before you enter. You're not staging a vibe, you're making a contract with your system. Here, we listen. Layer 2, body, the living temple. Start a 30-minute stimulation, fast. No reels, no inbox, no headlines. Take a 5-minute slow walk, breathe through the nose, let your gaze rest on the farthest object so your attention widens. Back in the room, do 3 rounds of coherence breath. In 4, out 6, 8. Let the exhale lengthen you. Jaw unclenches, shoulders drop by themselves. Add a tiny body scan, brow, tongue, throat, solar plexus, belly. Imagine you're removing armor you forgot you were wearing. Bare feet on the floor if you can. This isn't superstition, it's signal hygiene. Clothing, loose. Food, light or none. Heavy sugar and alcohol spike noise. If you're anxious, try the physiological sigh once or twice. 2 small inhales through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. If intensity rises during the session, use the pause. Posture, sit upright. Attention, expand the room's edges. Unhook, 1 slow 6-8 second exhale. Sip, water. Eyes, open, soft focus. You're teaching your body that safety and depth can coexist. Layer 3, tools, optional, intentional. If you choose to work with cannabis where lawful, remember, direction beats dosage. 1 or 2 mindful inhales that keep you articulate and aware is plenty. You're amplifying attention, not muting it. If you don't use any substance, perfect. The protocol stands on breath and stillness alone. Tea, cacao, or plain water can serve as a ritual cue. A single candle can be an anchor, but it's not required. The rule, add nothing you'll be tempted to adjust repeatedly. Set time boundaries. Give the ritual a window, 45 to 90 minutes, so your mind stops bargaining. Pick a consistent hour, evening or dawn, for a month. Consistency is memory. Memory becomes a door. Layer 4, agreements, the inner contract. Write one intention in the language of feeling, not demand. Show me what I'm ready to release, or clarify my next honest step. Speak it aloud once, then stop. No spells, no pleading. Over-explaining reactivates the narrator you're trying to quiet. Agree to no talking until you've written what lands. If you practice with others, agree on a silence window and a write first, share later rule. Protect the first image or sentence from debate. Let it repeat if it's real. Install 2 anti-noise rules. 3 adjustment rule. You can tweak the room, light, volume, cushion, up to 3 times total. After that, you don't move it. 1 track rule. You do not change music mid-flow. The urge to switch is often the urge to avoid. When the session begins, expect the void, that neutral plateau where nothing happens yet. This is where 97% panic and start stacking input. Don't. Sit. Breathe. Feel 4 anchors: temperature on skin, weight on seat, breath in ribs, heartbeat in chest. Let attention widen. If a word, image, or sensation arises, receive it. Don't grab it. If it's true, it returns. End the session with the correspondence ledger. 5 words that name the core, then 1 paragraph of evidence, not poetry. What did you learn, and what tiny action will prove it tomorrow? That's how mysticism becomes measurable. Educational content only. No medical or legal advice. Know and follow your local laws. Use responsibly. Next, we'll open the mechanism. How subtracting interference quiets the default mode network, invites gamma-like focus, and why constant checking causes decoherence. The mechanism now. You've built the gate. Here's how it opens. In plain language, the default mode network, DMN, is your autopilot narrator, the voice that stitches memories, predictions, and self-talk into a constant hum. It's useful for paying bills and telling time. It's terrible for receiving. When DMN dominates, you don't meet reality. You meet your commentary about reality. The sacred move isn't to fight it, but to lower its volume long enough for a cleaner pattern to appear. As the DMN quiets, many report a crisp, fast attentional rhythm, often described as gamma-like focus, where disparate details suddenly bind into meaning. That's the click you felt on your best nights. Not louder colors, but clearer instruction. 3 switches accomplish this without force. Switch 1. Simplicity of input. You already subtracted novelty, lyrics, scrolling, social chatter. Now formalize it. Pick 1 texture of sound, no words, 1 light source, 0 live feeds. If you feel the itch to improve the vibe, name it quietly. Avoidance. Resist the upgrade. The DMN thrives on adjusting. You are training non-interference, choosing not to poke the surface of a forming pattern. Switch 2. Single point intention. You spoke your sentence once. Good. Keep it single-pointed by not repeating it. Repetition shifts intention into rumination, and rumination is the DMN's favorite food. Instead, return attention to 4 anchors: temperature on skin, weight on seat, breath in ribs, heartbeat in chest. Let the question live in the background like a soft star, not a searchlight. Switch 3. Panoramic attention. Counterintuitive, but true. Widening awareness quiets the narrator. Soften the eyes. Include the edges of the room. Hear the farthest sound. Feel floor and air at once. Panoramic attention redistributes resources. No single thought gets to run the show. You're not zoning out. You're tuning out the self-commentary so tuning in can happen. Try the 7-minute DMN quiet protocol with breath alone or legally with the plant in micro amounts that keep you articulate. Minute 1, sit upright. Inhale 4, exhale 6-8 through the nose. Shoulders fall on their own. Minute 2, read your intention once. Close eyes. Name 3 sounds without adjectives. Hum, wind, distant car. No stories. Minute 3, soften vision. Eyes half-lidded or closed. Feel temperature plus weight simultaneously. If thoughts narrate, label them caption. Return to sensation. Minute 4, 3 slow breaths. At the bottom of each exhale, pause 1 beat and feel the heart area warm. Do not make feelings, allow. Minute 5, panoramic attention. Include ceiling, floor, walls, air. Imagine awareness is hanging behind you by 6 inches. This subtly dethrones the narrator. Minute 6. If legally using cannabis, 1 mindful inhale now, or none at all. Stay seated. No music changes. No posture gymnastics. Minute 7. Ask internally once. Show me what I'm ready to see. Then watch. Don't chase. If a word, image, or body sense arises, note it lightly. You'll recognize the gamma-like lock by a few markers people commonly report. Edges feel cleaner, time dilates, minutes stretch. The need to tweak drops, and a single phrase lands with unusual density, less like a thought you made, more like a sentence that arrived. Do not pounce. Write a 5-word tag in your journal. Call her back today. Stay with the field. Real patterns repeat. A word on the observer trap. Your mind will try to measure the moment to make sure it's working. Is this it? Is this it? Measurement collapses fragile states, like staring at a soap bubble until it pops. Install a rule. No checking windows. Decide in advance you won't evaluate for the first 10 minutes. After that, if you must check, ask only, am I present? If yes, continue. If no, expand attention and exhale longer. You're not grading magic, you're guarding conditions. If intensity spikes, racing thoughts, tight chest, ground without abandoning the ritual. Open your eyes, place both feet flat, do 1 physiological sigh, 2 short inhales through the nose, 1 long exhale through the mouth. Sip water, read your 5-word tag. That's enough. The aim isn't bliss, it's coherence. A state clear enough that guidance can cross the veil of your own story. Remember, direction beats dosage. Some nights the cleanest session uses no substance at all. Some nights a lawful micro amount simply widens the window you already opened with breath. Either way, the door you're looking for is built from simplicity, single-point intention, and panoramic attention, and it opens when you stop trying to force it. Next, we'll face the most expensive mistake the 97% keep making, constant checking and content chasing, and replace it with a discipline you can test tonight. The no-check window, the evidence ledger, and the 9-minute activation that turns glimpses into gravity. Here's the costliest mistake the 97% keep paying: constant checking. The moment you start auditing the state, is this working? Should I feel more? Maybe change the track. 1 more hit. You turn the field into an experiment, and fragile patterns collapse. In physics language, excessive measurement breeds decoherence. In Hermetic practice, it's simpler. You poke the surface until the reflection breaks. The antidote isn't willpower, it's structure. Install a no-check window. Decide your window before you begin and write it down. In session, the first 10-15 minutes are sacred. No adjustments, no scrolling, no improving the vibe. After the session, choose a 24-hour window where you will not test the universe with anxious rituals, refreshing, stalking, forcing outcomes. You're not ignoring reality. You're giving correspondence time to do its work. If urgency spikes, use the pause you learned. Posture upright, attention wide. Unhook with a long exhale. Sip water, eyes soft open. Replace content chasing with signal stewardship. 1 light, 1 texture of sound, no lyrics. 1 sentence of intention, spoken once. 1 seat you use only for this. The mind will bargain. Maybe a different frequency, a better candle, a new playlist. Name the urge avoidance, then return to breath. Every upgrade is often a sideways exit. Capture truth as evidence, not entertainment. When something lands, don't pounce or perform. Note a 5-word tag first. Call her back today. Then write a single paragraph in your journal. The evidence ledger. Format it the same way every time. State, pre, breath slow, attention panoramic, emotion neutral warm, story =, willing, message during, the exact phrase /image/sensation, no embellishment. Action, Next, 24H, the smallest measurable step. Result, after 24H, what actually happened? Signal rating, 03. 0 equals sign noise, 3 equals sign undeniable. This is how mysticism becomes measurable. After 7 entries, patterns will self-announce. You won't have to believe, you'll have receipts. What if I miss a sign? You won't. If it's real, it repeats. The mind's craving for certainty tries to collect phenomena. Don't collect, correspond. Let meaning emerge from repetition in your life, not from lists on the internet. Symbols that are yours will rhyme with your days. What about boredom or spikes of anxiety? Boredom is often the skin of the void. Stay one breath longer. Anxiety means energy rose faster than your container. Widen attention, lengthen exhale, open eyes, feel the floor. You didn't fail, you're learning load management. Hold this discipline for 1 week, then we'll weld it to practice. Next, the 9-minute activation, step-by-step protocol that turns glimpses into gravity. This is where we turn all the prep into practice. 9 minutes, no theatrics, no new gadgets, just signal hygiene, a single intention, and the discipline you've been building. Use breath alone, or where lawful and right for you, a micro amount that keeps you articulate and aware. Direction beats dosage. Minute 1, enter the gate. Sit upright on your dedicated seat. 1 warm, dim light, 1 texture of sound, no lyrics. Read your intention once, out loud, calm and low. Place the journal open, pen uncapped, phone out of the room. Begin your no-check window now. Minute 2, coherence breath. Inhale 4, exhale 6, 8 through the nose. Feel the exhale soften your shoulders and jaw. Let the belly unbrace. With each out-breath, say inwardly, I'm willing to see. Minute 3, panoramic attention. Soften the eyes, half-lidded or closed. Sense floor, walls, ceiling at once. Name 3 sounds without adjectives. Hum, breeze, car. Label thoughts caption and return to sensation. You're dethroning the narrator, not fighting it. Minute 4, heart alignment. Place a palm on the chest. Imagine warmth spreading with each exhale. No forced gratitude. Aim for neutral warm, composed, curious. If sadness or anger appears, include it. The mirror prefers truth to performance. Minute 5, ask once. Inwardly, show me what I'm ready to see about topic. Then stop asking. Single point intention, 0 repetition. Keep attention wide. If legally using cannabis, take 1 mindful inhale here, or none at all. Do not adjust music, light, or posture. Minute 6, the void. Expect neutrality. Stay. Feel 4 anchors. Temperature on skin, weight on seat, breath in ribs, heartbeat in chest. If the urge to improve the vibe flares, name it avoidance and breathe out longer. Trust non-interference. Minute 7, receiving. When a word, image, or sensation arrives, don't pounce. Whisper a 5-word tag into the journal margin. Nothing more. Call her back today. If nothing arrives, that's data. The system is still organizing. Stay. Minute 8, deepen or ground. If clarity is building, remain in panoramic attention. If intensity spikes, use the physiological sigh. 2 short inhales, 1 long exhale. Sip water, open eyes softly, and continue seated. Safety and depth can coexist. Minute 9, seal and specify. Write 1 evidence paragraph, the exact message, no embellishment, and the smallest action you'll take within 24 hours. Draw a box, schedule it. Close the session with 1 slow exhale and the words, as within, so without, so next. Hold your 24-hour post-ritual no-check window. Don't test, poke, or refresh. Let correspondence work. In the final part, we'll hardwire integration, turning glimpses into gravity with a 7-day scaffold, boundary cues, and a proof loop your life can't ignore. Ritual without integration is entertainment. Integration turns glimpses into gravity, mass that bends your days. Thoth's law of correspondence doesn't end when the candle goes out. It begins there. What you do in the next 168 hours tells the mirror what to multiply. So we close with a scaffold you can actually live, boundary cues that protect your signal, and a proof loop your mind can't argue with. The 7-day scaffold, no mystique, just muscle. Day 1, seal. Execute the smallest action you wrote after the session within 24 hours. Text sent, desk cleared, call placed, 1 atom moved, not a promise made. Day 2, clarify. Reread the 5-word tag. Write 1 line. If I ignore this, the cost is underscore, 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 underscore. Let truth sting a little. Sting is fuel. Day 3, environment. Subtract 1 source of noise from your daily habitat. A notification, a drawer of clutter, a nightly doom scroll slot. Correspondence loves room. Day 4, integrity check. Where did you tilt the truth today? 1 sentence, no drama. Then 1 corrective act, apology, boundary, or delete. Day 5, embodiment. Choose a micro practice, 5 minutes breath or walk, and do it before you check a screen. Show your body who leads. Day 6, witness. No new inputs. Notice synchronicities without harvesting them. If it's real, it repeats. Day 7, audit. Open the evidence ledger. Log result and give the signal a 0-3 rating. Decide the next single intention. Close with 1 deep exhale. As within, so without, so next. Boundary cues, protect the fire. Frequency, no back-to-back nights. 1-2 sessions, week, or breath-only weeks. So sensitivity grows instead of dulls. No check windows. Hold the 24-hour post-ritual pause. Stop refreshing outcomes. Steward conditions. 3 adjustment rule. Light, sound, posture. Max 3 tweaks total. After that, stillness wins. 1 sentence law. Intention spoken once. Repetition equals sign. Rumination equals sign. DMN bait. Demonstrate, don't explain. Share actions, not visions. Talking early spends the charge. The proof loop. Repeatable, trackable. Define, act, observe, record, rate, adjust. If you log 2 0s in a row, don't force meaning. Lower noise, earlier hour, simpler sound, darker room, cleaner question. If you log 2 3s, stabilize, same time, same seat, same sequence for a week. Pattern loves consistency, and if nothing lands some nights, good. You met the void and stayed. That patience is capacity. Capacity is what miracles climb. You don't need more smoke, you need more clarity. The plant, where lawful, is optional. Presence is not. Walk this for 7 days and watch your life curve. If this stirred something real, subscribe and tap the bell. Next, we open the gate of sleep. Thoth's astral map they never teach, and how a single bedtime sentence sets tomorrow's timeline.